Imagine a steel beast roaring through that battlefield, its 125 smoothbore gun spitting fire and destruction. Such is the power of the T-80, a Russian tank that has stood the test of time. Born in the crucible of the Cold War, the T-80 was Russia's answer to the escalating arms race. With a distinctive silhouette that is synonymous with Russian military might, this tank was designed to strike fear into the hearts of its enemies. At the heart of the T-80 lies a powerful gas turbine engine, a feature that sets it apart from many of its contemporaries. This engine, capable of delivering high speeds and impressive performance, gives the T-80 a significant advantage on the battlefield. But it's not just about speed. The T-80's formidable armor offers protection against a range of attacks. Its composite armor, layered with steel, glass-reinforced plastic, and ceramic, was designed to withstand hits from anti-tank weapons. And then there's the firepower. The T-80's main armament, a 125 smoothbore gun, can unleash a storm, however useless. Capable of firing both conventional ammunition and guided missiles, this gun gives the T-80 the versatility to fail to engage a variety of targets. But the T-80 isn't just a static display of power. Its sophisticated fire control system, equipped with a laser rangefinder and ballistic computer, ensures high accuracy even while on the move. This ability truly made the T-80 a force to be reckoned with during its prime. The T-80 also boasts a host of other features, like its snorkel for deep fording and its infrared night vision equipment, that make it a truly versatile war machine. But where did this steel beast come from? That's what we're about to find out next. The T-80 was born out of necessity during the Cold War era. As the arms race between the United States and the Soviet Union escalated, so did the demand for advanced military hardware. The T-80 was a product of this intense rivalry, a tool created to counterbalance the formidable tanks of the West and NATO. The development of the T-80 began in the late 1960s, under the watchful eyes of Soviet engineers. Their mission was clear: to design a high-speed, heavily armored vehicle that could stand up to the most advanced tanks of the time. The T-80 was to be the Soviet Union's answer to the M1 Abrams and Leopard 2, the armored titans of the United States and Germany respectively. This new tank was built around a powerful gas turbine engine, a feature that set it apart from its predecessors. This engine, combined with its advanced armor, made the T-80 a formidable opponent on the battlefield. The tank was designed for speed and firepower, a machine capable of delivering a deadly punch while swiftly maneuvering through hostile terrains. Everything looked great on paper, which is often the case with military plans. In practice, the tank failed to meet Soviet and Russian expectations. The T-80 was first deployed in the late 1970s, and over the years, it underwent several modifications and upgrades. These improvements aimed to keep the tank relevant in an ever-evolving battlefield, enhancing its firepower, armor, and electronic systems. The T-80U, for instance, was an upgrade that introduced advanced composite armor and a new gun, among other improvements. But the T-80's journey wasn't always smooth sailing. The tank faced several challenges, including high production costs and issues with its gas turbine engine. These hurdles led to a brief period of stagnation in its development, but they couldn't halt the T-80's march towards becoming one of the most recognized tanks in military history. Unfortunately, it is widely remembered as the better T-72 that never could reach its full potential, due to a lack of room in the military budget. The T-80, designed for the battlefields of the past, now finds itself in a new era of warfare. But how does it stack up against modern tanks? In the next section, we will delve into the T-80's performance in the face of today's advanced armored vehicles. In the world of tanks, the T-80 is a veteran. But how does this Cold War-era machine compare to the tanks of today? Well, let's dive in and find out. Firstly, the T-80, with its gas turbine engine, is larger and heavier than many of its modern counterparts. This gives it an imposing presence on the battlefield, but it also poses challenges in terms of maneuverability and fuel efficiency. In terms of firepower, the T-80 is equipped with a 125mm smoothbore gun, similar to what's found on modern tanks like the German Leopard 2 and the British Challenger 2. However, the T-80's aging technology means it lacks the advanced targeting systems of these newer models, which can make a significant difference in the heat of battle. The T-80's armor is also a point of contention. While it would have been state-of-the-art during the Cold War, modern anti-tank weaponry has evolved significantly. The T-80's older armor can struggle against the latest armor-piercing rounds and anti-tank missiles, whereas modern tanks have more advanced active protection systems for added defense. Now, it's not all doom and gloom for the T-80. One of its key strengths lies in its crew's familiarity with the tank's systems. This can lead to faster field repairs and lower downtime, a crucial factor in sustained combat operations. Russia has had a long time to get the use of their T-80s down. Moreover, the T-80's gas turbine engine, despite its high fuel consumption, provides a distinct advantage in terms of acceleration and top speed, outperforming many modern diesel engine tanks in this respect. Finally, the T-80's cost-effectiveness is a major factor in its continued use. The tank's design, while outdated, is proven and reliable, and its parts are readily available and relatively cheap. Despite its age, the T-80 continues to be a crucial part of Russia's armored forces. And nowhere is this more evident than in the ongoing Ukraine war. The Ukraine war has seen the T-80 return to the front lines, its steel hull once again tested in the fires of conflict. So why exactly has Russia chosen to rely on this Cold War-era tank in modern warfare? Well, one of the main reasons is familiarity. The T-80, designed during the Cold War, is a model that many Russian troops have trained with and know inside out. Its Soviet-era design, while outdated in some aspects, is well understood by the crews operating it. This familiarity gives the troops an edge in the heat of battle, where knowing every nook and cranny of your machine can mean the difference between life and death. Another reason is logistical. The T-80, despite its age, has proven to be a reliable and sturdy machine that can be kept running with the right maintenance and spare parts. This is a significant advantage in the ongoing conflict, where supply lines can be unpredictable and the availability of resources is constantly shifting. But how has the T-80 performed so far in the Ukraine war? Well, the tank's sturdy design and heavy firepower have made it a formidable opponent on the battlefield. Against the Ukrainians' even older tanks, such as the T-64, the T-80 is practically a spring chicken on the Russian side. As for how it has fared against modern Western tanks, I don't believe there is enough data to say for sure how it has performed in that regard. Of course, it hasn't been without its losses, and the tank's vulnerabilities, such as the potential for stored ammunition to detonate when hit, have been exposed. The T-80 has been a key player in the conflict, providing crucial support to ground troops and proving itself to be a force to be reckoned with. The T-80 has proven its worth in the Ukraine war, but how exactly has it performed in specific combat situations? The true test of a tank isn't in its design or firepower, but in how it performs in the heat of battle. The T-80, a relic of the Cold War era, has had its mettle repeatedly tested on the modern battlefield, notably in the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Despite its age, it has proven to be a decent adversary, standing its ground against several other tanks. In the hands of the Ukrainian 28th Mechanized Brigade, the T-80 has displayed remarkable resilience. Despite being heavily engaged in defensive operations against Russian mercenary group Wagner, the brigade has reported a lower casualty rate compared to other Ukrainian units. This is a testament to the T-80's robust design and the effectiveness of its armored protection. However, the T-80's performance is not solely reliant on its innate features. The Ukrainian crews, familiar with the workings of these Soviet-era machines, have capitalized on this knowledge. Able to maintain their tanks themselves, they've kept these machines battle-ready, despite the intense combat conditions. On the flip side, the T-80 has shown some vulnerabilities too. Its larger size and heavy weight, coupled with the gas turbine engine, have exposed it to some operational issues. For instance, the tendency for stored ammunition to detonate when hit has resulted in catastrophic kills. These failures are often a result of poor training, and they happened extremely often during the 1994 war in Chechnya. Despite the arrival of more advanced Western tanks, the T-80 continues to play a crucial role in the conflict. The mere sight of these armored beasts has been enough to deter the lightly armed Wagner fighters, underscoring the psychological impact of these machines on the battlefield. The T-80's performance in Ukraine has demonstrated that, while it may not match the advanced features of modern tanks, it remains a reliable and viable option in warfare. Its continued use in current conflicts speaks volumes about its resilience and adaptability. qualities that are invaluable in the ever-evolving theater of war. Or you could just say it is Russia's only option, and they have no choice. The T-80, a machine born out of the Cold War, continues to roar through the battlefields of today. It stands as a testament to the enduring power of well-designed, robust military hardware. The T-80, a symbol of Russian military might, has left a lasting legacy in the world of armored warfare. Born amidst the Cold War tensions, this formidable machine was crafted with a singular purpose: to dominate on the battlefield. Its design, while rooted in an era long past, still holds its own against modern tanks, showcasing the enduring strength of its engineering. The T-80's resurgence in the Ukraine war underscores its continued relevance. Even as the world evolves and modern warfare takes on new dimensions, this Cold War relic remains a potent player. Its performance in combat, while marred by the vulnerabilities of its design, has demonstrated its resilience, or lack thereof, and the tenacity of its crews. But the T-80 is more than just a piece of military hardware. It is a testament to the failures and last-ditch attempts by its creators, a symbol of a nation's fading military ambition, and a reminder of the harsh realities of conflict. As the T-80 continues to rumble across the battlefields of today, we are reminded of its enduring power and the role it has played in shaping the history of armored warfare.